Ministries. Welcome to today's Trail Talk. Recently, I have been doing the Bible study, Nehemiah, A Heart That Can Break, by Kelly Minter. And Kelly has really been challenging me. I guess Nehemiah has been challenging me, or maybe better yet, the Lord has been challenging me through this book to think beyond myself, to think beyond those I normally minister to, and to think about the marginalized, the impoverished, the desperate, if you will. You know, I am so thankful for the women who weekly come to Bible study, who monthly come to women's fellowships, and who every year they are at women's retreats without fail. Those women encourage me. They are the backbone of our ministry. They are the ones who welcome in new people and give substance to our ministry. But this particular study has challenged me to start thinking beyond the normal type of woman that we even reach out to in our church's women's ministry. And so I want to reach the unreached, the thus far unreached. And who do I mean by that? Well, I mean everybody from my neighbor across the street over there who I see no sign of Christ or a commitment to Christ in her life, to the woman across the ocean who is desperate just to feed her family and has not even perhaps thought about feeding her soul. I want to be able to reach those who are hurting, those who are so wounded that they think they have no place on a church pew. And you know what? I bet you want to reach those women too. So what I'd like for us to do is just enter into a dialogue, if you will. I'm here and you're on the other side of that video. But my prayer is that we could have some sort of a dialogue about how to go about reaching with Christ, the message of Christ, how to go about reaching the woman who seems to be unreachable. Well, first of all, I've already come to the conclusion that I've got to invite them. And you know, I'm not really very good about that, but I have got to start going out of my comfort zone, maybe inviting someone that maybe I normally wouldn't think to invite. Just yesterday, I was at Dillard's and I was in the shoe department trying on some shoes, and the young girl there who was waiting on me quickly entered into kind of intimate conversation, asked me what I do for a living and how I spend my days. And as I left later on with my bag in hand, I thought, Kay, you just missed an opportunity to engage a young woman in conversation about the Bible, about Bible studies, because she'd asked me what I do, and I failed to do that. You know, shame on me. But one thing we've got to start doing is being more aware and inviting that woman who so far is unreached. But sometimes we also have to be willing, number two, to go where they are. For instance, here in our community, we have a shelter, actually a nice house with a number of rooms in it for women who are coming out of domestic violence situations. It's a house that offers shelter to them and their children. And not too long ago, a small group from our church, we actually went to this shelter and we offered a day of just pampering for the moms and activities for the children. But you know, maybe there's more we could do along those lines of taking the gospel to that unreached woman. Whether she be at a woman's shelter or a homeless shelter, maybe she is across the ocean. Maybe there is an opportunity for women's mission trips that we could plan. But we've got to start coming up with ways to take our ministry out of the walls of our church, off of our property, and to where these women are, where they naturally congregate. Another thing I see that we need to do then is we need to be able to provide the resources for them to get to know Jesus. Just recently, I encountered a situation like this. I am teaching a teenage girls Sunday school class, way out of my comfort zone. And I've got the privilege right now of teaching a exchange student from Brazil. And her English is broken as it is, and not too long ago I found out she doesn't even have a Bible. And yet she wants one, and she wants to be a part of our Sunday school class, and she wants to learn about Jesus. So of course, one of the first things we've got to do is provide this young girl with a Bible. But that got me thinking. I know of other women in our ministry who do not yet know the Lord, and I just assume that they have a Bible. I need to start making that assumption and asking, do you have a Bible? Do you have what you need? Do you need a Bible study? Do you need a ride to Bible study? Do you need childcare? What do you need so that we can reach you? Of course, also, I think a big part of reaching the unreached is to enlist other people. enlist other women who will help me to make these women feel welcome, to make them feel like they're a part of things, to give them courage and strength on their journey to meeting Jesus. I'm going to need other people. It's going to have to be a team effort, not just me. Another thought that crosses my mind is that maybe it's time to open the tent a little bit, broaden the tent. And we've actually integrated a few ministries like this in our women's ministry, and I bet you have too, and I really found results from these. For instance, we have a MOPS ministry. And at first, yes, our MOPS ministry mostly was full of church mamas. But over the last several years, an interesting thing has happened. Those church mamas have met women at the park, at a play group, at the library, story time, and they have invited them to join them in MOPS. And so now our MOPS group, probably over 50% of it is unreached women, unchurched, non-believers. And wow, what an exciting morning those are when we get to gather for MOPS, and we've got so many women there who are unreached. But it's programs like that, moms groups, grief support groups, divorce care, other types of support groups. Those are opportunities to broaden the tent, to bring people in, ministries that meet a felt need so that we can expose to them their need for Jesus Christ and introduce them to Him. Finally, along those same lines, I think it's really important to mobilize our women. The women in our women's ministries, they are the ones on the front, and they are the ones who can issue those invitations, and people actually come. When I issue an invitation to something, oh, that's just the pastor's wife, or that's just the women's ministry director inviting me to come. But when one of my women, just your normal average Jane, so to speak, invites her neighbor, her coworker, her friend, they come. But how do you get these women to start inviting other women to Bible study or to a fellowship or to a retreat? Well, here's what I've noticed with our MOPS group is when the women in our MOPS group feel like it is meeting their needs, then they are more likely to invite other women to come and have their needs met. So if it works for MOPS, it will probably work for Bible study, for women's fellowships, for retreats, etc. We have got to produce programs, activities, opportunities, venues that are excellent, that meet real needs, and that they provide what women are actually looking for. And then they will invite that unreached woman. So those are a few of my ideas for reaching the unreached woman. I would love to hear yours. Please email me at k@kharms.com. I'd like to hear your ideas because seriously, Nehemiah is eating my lunch. And I am compelled to reach out beyond just the circle of women that I've been ministering to. Let's do that together, ladies. Let's reach the unreached. It's been so nice talking with you today on the trail. Thanks for taking a moment, and I will see you further down the bend.